Namaste, namaste, and welcome to week 2 of our summer term of yoga. And today we're going to focus our practice on the neck and shoulders. So this is an area of the body where lots of us hold tension, particularly as we get a little bit older. Sometimes there's a little forward rounding of the rib cage part of the spine, which can lead to a few problems in the neck. And if, like me, you're an avid reader and you do things like knitting and crocheting and cooking and gardening and all of those sorts of things, everything is in front of the body, which means that we often have the chin down and a sort of protruding head. And it can be hard on the back of the body when we do all of those things. You may have other reasons for your neck and shoulders to be needing a little bit of extra love. Don't worry about that. It will all be covered in this class. Let's begin by sitting towards the front of our seat so that we're not leaning back into our chairs, resting your hands wherever they're comfortable, perhaps gazing gently downward or closing your eyes. We're going to press the feet into the floor and then feel a gentle lift come from that base of support right through to the crown of the head. Take this moment to step away from everything that is going on around you, stepping into the time and space for yoga. Notice how your body is feeling in this moment. Notice any areas of stiffness, tension, discomfort. Trying to remember to work compassionately with these places in the body as we move through our practice. Noticing at least one part of the body that feels peaceful, spacious, and at ease. Allow that sense of ease to be blossoming out from wherever it's centered, softening tension as it goes, easing some smoothness into the forehead, a sense of release through the shoulders, the jaw, the chest. Notice your breath in this moment, observing your natural breath without judgment, observing the softness, smoothness, the depth of your breath. When you feel ready, you might like to gently deepen your breath. On your next exhalation, just easing a little bit of effort into the belly muscles to exhale fully, and then relaxing the belly muscles to breathe deeply into the sides of the body, the back and the chest. Breathing a long, slow breath out, gently engaging across the navel to breathe out completely. Soft in the belly to breathe into the rib cage, the collarbones, the shoulder blades. Long, slow, steady breath out, engaging to breathe out fully. Soft in the belly to breathe deeply in. Feel that breath lift you tall. As you breathe out, long, slow, and steady, softening jaws, forehead, shoulders, engaging the belly muscles to exhale completely. Soft in the belly to breathe in, doing a few more of these deeper breaths in your own time. at the end of your next exhalation, allowing your chin to come towards your chest and your breath to fall back into its natural rhythm. We'll just take a moment. We're not forcing the head forward. We're just going to wherever gravity naturally takes us. Spending a moment here, feeling perhaps a sense of length along the back of the neck or between the shoulder blades or across the top of the shoulders. We're going to smile gently and return the head to upright, and blinking the eyes open if they've been closed, and then just freeing the arms so you can roll your shoulders a few times. And we're going to roll the opposite way as well. Very nice. So normally we do some neck rolling to begin the class, but today we're going to spend a bit more time with the neck and shoulders. So we're going to take it a bit more steady and go through some of the individual movements. We're going to start by trying to find the head centered over the body. Let me move a little bit forward, in fact. There we go. So it's quite common for us to find the head dropping in front of the body so that we get a sense of tension and effort across the back of the neck, the back of the shoulders. So as you sit, try to draw your chin back towards the spine, maybe even taking the back of the head back slightly, and then glide the chin forwards without dropping it down, just forwards slightly. Gliding back, gliding forward. And as we move, we want to try and feel what switches on as the head goes behind the body, what switches on as the head goes in front of the body. Where do we feel the effort in the body as we do this? Let's do one more. We're going to try and find center. So when the head is centered, the head is light on top of the body. There's very little effort in the chest and very little noticeable effort in the back of the body. So just trying to find that space. And then when we practice, trying to come back to this space all of the time. So we begin to get really familiar with holding the head in position. Our muscle memory will then work to help bring us back to this point of restful balance in our day-to-day lives as well. So as we sit with the head in this beautiful right over the body position, we're trying to think about a little bit of space along the neck. So that space might be here between the chin and the chest. It might be between the ears and the shoulders. It might be at the back of the neck, between the nape of the neck and the top of the torso. So we're thinking about, I like to think of it as a ballet dancer's neck. So that sense that the head is light and lifted and all sides of the neck are nice and long. And this spaciousness allows us to move more freely and more suitably for our bodies. So from this lengthened position, we're just gently going to turn to look over one shoulder. It doesn't matter which one you choose. And return to the center and turn to look across the opposite shoulder. I'm going to do this one more time from side to side, and then we're going to talk about the position of the arms. Just gently try to find that upright, lifted middle position as we return. And here, I've got my hands resting on my thighs, which feels quite comfortable. And you might have your arms down by your sides. We're going to try a little bit of both and see which feels best. So trying with the arms resting down by the sides, just free, so the weight of the arms provides a little traction on the shoulders. Finding that lifted position, lengthening the neck on all sides, and then gently turning and noticing if that feels easier than it did on the previous round. Sometimes the position of our arms and shoulders has an impact on how comfortable the neck feels. By exploring that, we can begin to understand our bodies better and adapt to the situations we find ourselves in. Try two with the arms resting on something. It might be that you clasp the hands together. Might be the hands rest onto the lap. Find that lifted position. Just a gentle turn. And back to center, to the other side. We also find that as we move, we get more range of movement. So now this movement feels freer, perhaps because we've done it a few times. This time, as you turn to look over your first shoulder, we're just going to pause. And we're not pressing or forcing. We're not pushing through any resistance we find in the body. We might meet that resistance and move slightly away and then hold, but not taking it right to the edge of where our feeling becomes intense. As you hold, soften your arms down as well. Just see if a little light movement of the shoulders is possible here. Maybe try smiling, gentle smile. Or you might try softening your jaw. You might even try sticking your tongue out. When you're ready, you can come back through center. Find that centered lift before turning to the opposite side. Hands on the legs to begin with. Find the fullest expression of your range of movement without forcing, without pushing. If you feel that you're inclined to press towards the resistance in the body, just step slightly back from it, turn slightly away from it. Then relax the arms down. Just taking a moment here. You might try a soft smile or sticking your tongue out to the same side that you're turning towards. And then gently relax and come back to center. And as we come back to center, we're going to roll the shoulders and really let the neck relax. So oftentimes when we're bringing our head, our bodies back to center from where they habitually go, so our habitual movement patterns are quite ingrained, it can feel tense to come back to that centered space. Over time, it will feel tense to be away from that centered space. So just giving yourself a little bit of a moment here, maybe a gentle movement through the shoulders, through the head, whatever feels good. I have to be honest, there's no real magic formula with heads and necks because we're all so different, necks and shoulders. But usually when we have stiffness or tension or discomfort, we hold our bodies rather than move them. So gentle movement is one of the best things that we can do. Even if it doesn't feel like you're doing anything proper, it's effective. Let's come back to our centered space. We're going to rest the hands. If that feels good, dangle the arms if you feel better doing that. Finding the lengthened position, we're going to take the ear to the shoulder. Doesn't matter which side you start with. Coming back through centered lift and to the opposite side. So we're just exploring one more time from side to side. And then as we come through center this time, we're going to soften the arms, allowing them to dangle by the sides. Again, find that centered lift and do our side to side movements nice and slowly. Slow and steady means that we have to use more muscular effort, but also we're aware of what our body is saying. Is there any tension? Is there any resistance? Is there any discomfort that we should be taking care of? Coming back to the center, just softening for a moment. This time we're going to choose whichever hand position is better, either hands on the lap or dangling by the sides. Find our lift and just gently take the head to the first side and pause for a moment. Here we're breathing, just noticing if in the process of holding, whether there is any increased sense of effort or increased sense of length or release. And then really gently coming back through center, finding that lift, and then leaning to the opposite side. Just noticing, taking a moment. And when you're ready, coming back through center. I'm going to turn this way so that we can do the next part of our practice. So a little wriggle, a little release. Notice how the chest and shoulders and upper back are feeling as a result of the movements of the neck. And then we'll find our centered lift again. We'll take our ear to the shoulder. I'm doing the right side first. And then we can explore. If it feels good to hold just here, perfect. If it feels good, you can dangle your arm down. Good. If it feels like there's space, you can press your palm or fingertips to the floor. So the opposite arm, this is my left arm pressing down. Taking a couple of deeper breaths. Smiling softly if you can manage it as well. Don't need to. And then we're going to relax the arm and slowly bring our head back to center. Wriggle in the shoulders, trying to soften any effort or tension between each practice. Coming back to center to sit really tall, taking the right and left ear to the left shoulder. That's the one. Just noticing. Maybe it feels good here. Maybe if there's enough space, you might dangle your right arm. If it still feels good, pressing the right palm or fingertips to the floor. Finding ease by keeping our breath slow and steady in and out. Maybe finding a gentle smile across the face. And then softening the right arm and gently bringing the head back to center. Just not trying to release out too quickly, just doing a little bit at a time. Roll of the shoulders. And we're going to release some additional tension with a bit of forwards and backwards movement. So chin towards chest, letting the head come forward. It might feel very much more able to make this movement than it did right at the beginning of our class. Because as we ease tension from other parts of the neck, it frees space for this movement too. A little deep breath in and out here, then a soft smile. Softening the shoulders down as we roll back up. We're going to put the bottom teeth over the top teeth and roll the chin forwards and up. So not head back, but chin lifted. Breathe as you hold. And then slowly coming back to center, relaxing the jaw, maybe giving the jaw a little wiggle. And then if you'd like to, you can take your chin to your chest one more time for a smile and a brief pause before coming back to the upright position. We're going to free the shoulders again, give the shoulders a little roll. And we're going to leave neck movements for a moment as we come to working on the shoulders a bit more. So the shoulders are rolling backwards at the moment, so we're going to roll them the opposite way as well. Very nice. And we notice in this action of even just simple rolling of the shoulders here, how many structures are involved. You know, how much of the chest and the back is moving, how much effort comes across the top of the shoulders into the neck as well. And then we're going to pause briefly, shrug the shoulders all the way up towards the ears, hold them here as high up as you can with as much lifted effort as possible. And then very slowly, releasing the shoulders down, 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 down. Maybe you're shortly going to come to your neutral spot. And then from our neutral spot, we're going to press the palms down. So we take the shoulders down lower and lift the crown of the head up at the same time. Have this sense of increased space between shoulders and ears. And then again, slowly releasing back to center. I'm going to try doing all of this whilst maintaining a lovely, long, slow breath. So breathing in to take the shoulders, up, holding here briefly and letting your breath flow naturally. Try not to drop your chin forwards to do this, but keep the head lifted as well. And then slowly, 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 slowly releasing down. The breath still gently and calmly moving in and out through the body. When the shoulders come back to their neutral spot, we're going to press the palms down, lengthen the crown of the head up, create a little bit more length down the sides of the neck, and then release slowly back towards center. Give yourself just a little wriggle. We're going to pause to take a deep breath in and sigh out. Good job. Let's do this one more time. We're shrugging the shoulders all the way up, holding them as tightly up as we can. We're going to hold just for an extra moment. Deep breath in, and then with your out breath, slowly exhaling and releasing the shoulders down at the same time. If you need to, take another breath. It's not a problem. We're still in the process of releasing. Slowly, 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 slowly. Maybe now we're back to center. And then gently pressing their palms down, lengthening the crown of the head up. Taking another moment. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly coming back towards center again. When you feel that you're back in your centered space, just giving your shoulders a little wriggle and perhaps noticing how it feels to move with the neck in any way that feels good, perhaps a little freer movement here. So we're going to continue doing things for our shoulders, taking the fingertips onto the chest or the shoulders, wherever feels good, or in that general direction. We're going to make some elbow circles. And as we move the elbows around in circles, just noticing what feels like it's making an effort. So do you feel a sense of space underneath the arms as they lift? Do you feel movement across the rib cage, the sides of the body, the upper back, shoulders, chest, wherever it might be? Trying to make slightly fuller movements, perhaps drawing the elbows towards each other in front of the body and behind the body a little if you can as well. If you wish to, you can move with your breath, breathing in as you come forward, breathing out as you come down. Let's do one more. Allow the arms to rest down to the sides, just giving the shoulders a little light shrugging. So we don't need to lift very high. It's a sort of quick squeeze release type of motion. And then here we're also going to swing the arms forwards and backwards. So we're letting the arms aren't coming up really high. So it's not like swinging like this, it's low. So the shoulders are not stressed by this movement. They're enjoying the process of having these floppy arms, providing a little bit of traction across the joint. If you wish to, you can make this a little bit more expressive by pressing into the feet, firming the belly, and allowing the chest and the head to move. So the chest moves with the shoulders as well, with the swing of the arms. And it's really nice for the sides of the body as well. You might notice that across the sides of the body too. And we want this to be really soft in the arms, a real childlike quality to it. Let's do a couple more to each side, and then we'll center ourselves again and just sway back to steadiness. Little shrug of the shoulders, little roll of the shoulders, and then take the fingertips towards the shoulders. This time, we're going to take the elbows back and up to open the chest, maybe lift the chin a little, and take the elbows towards each other and down in front of the body. Breathing in, back and up. Breathing out, forward and down. Breathing in, back and up. Breathing out forward and down. Notice if you've got any clunking or clicking, I certainly do, then slowing your movement down, maybe making the circling slightly smaller so it provides a bit more support to the shoulder movement, a little bit more muscular effort. And don't forget to press your feet into the floor and firm the belly muscles just enough to feel like you are centered and supported. Let's do one more. Relaxing the arms down to the sides again, just a little gentle shrug. Aces. So we're going to do a little bit of neck flossing, nerve flossing really for the neck. So if you haven't done this before, just watching, we're going to start with the right hand extended, right arm extended with the palm facing upwards. And then we're going to lengthen the fingertips down as we take the left, sorry, this is the left arm, take the left ear to the left shoulder. And then as we draw the fingertips up and curve the palm towards the shoulder, we're going to take the right ear to the right shoulder. So left ear to left shoulder, palm faces down, right ear to right shoulder, palm faces towards the body, and we sort of curl the fingertips back towards us. Let me see, if I move here, you can see better with my hand. The arm doesn't need to be absolutely straight, but we do want it to be in its lengthened position, and straighter is better here. So if it feels tiring to have the arm so lifted, you can have it lower down, not a problem at all. And the process of nerve flossing is sometimes a little bit intense. We want to avoid anything too intense in terms of feelings and sensations. So if it feels like it's getting too intense, just step back from it slightly or rest and join us in the next practice. So let us sit tall, pressing the feet down, reaching the right arm out to the right, palm is turned upwards, and we're just lengthening that arm and lengthening the crown of the head up as well. We're going to take the left ear to the left shoulder and drop the fingertips towards the floor. And then we're going to draw the right ear to the right shoulder and bring the palm and the fingertips back towards our shoulder. So our head is moving in the same direction as our hand, or our hand is moving in the same direction as our head. Lovely job. So as I say, nothing too intense. As you go from side to side, you can do it really slowly if it feels good to you. I'm cheating ever so slightly by curving my palm a little, and that's because I find it really tough on this side. This is my shoulder that doesn't work quite so well. We'll do one more in each direction, and then we're going to come to upright with the head, turn the palm down and float the arm to the side. Just give that shoulder a little wriggle. It's quite tiring, so do take care to rest that arm completely, if you can, resting the hand on your lap, just to soften any effort through the shoulder while we do the opposite side. So we're reaching the right arm out to the right side with the palm turned upwards, pressing into the feet to sit tall, little active in the belly, and then we're dropping the right ear to the right shoulder as we turn the fingertips down towards the floor, pressing the palm away from us, and then bringing the fingertips back towards us as we take the left ear to the left shoulder. We're trying to have a little sense of extend into that arm as well. And as we move from side to side, you might get sensations you don't normally feel. So these are not muscular, stretchy sensations. They feel a little sharper. So nothing too intense. If it feels too intense, you can rest out completely. We want to avoid any sort of tingling or numbness as well. Very nice. Remember, you can lower your arms slightly if you need to. Let's do one more. Actually, let's do one more. Very good. And then coming to the upright position, turning the palm, floating the arm down to the side. Just a nice slow release, little wriggle of the shoulder, and support that arm back onto your lap or in some way. Sometimes people like to have a cushion or a block on the lap just to rest their arm on something so that the weight of the arm isn't pulling on the shoulder at all, if that feels good to you. Okay, so we're going to do something similar but slightly different. So we have the palm turned up for, this time we're having the palm turned downwards, stretching the left arm away from the left side of the body. We're going to let the fingertips come down, so we're bending the hand again, or the wrist again, and left ear to left shoulder, and then fingertips coming up, right ear to right shoulder. So fingertips down, and actually we're not really taking the right ear to the right shoulder, we're just moving the head away from the left side. So it doesn't need to be as far as we can go, it's just a sense of movement. The head following the pattern of the hand, still lengthening into that arm as much as we can, pressing the feet into the floor. Just easing, trying to avoid anything too intense. Let's do one more. As we come upright, just softening the elbow and letting our arm float down to our sides, little wriggle of the shoulders, support this arm, this left arm somewhere on your body or on a cushion, and then we'll reach the right arm out to the right. Nice and tall, pressing the feet down. We drop the fingertips towards the floor and the right ear to the right shoulder, and then coming back through center, taking the left ear towards the left shoulder as the fingertips come up. So just bending at the wrist and at the neck. Letting the head follow the movement of the hand. Noticing how differently it feels from muscular movements or muscular stretches. And we're not really looking for stretch per se. We're just looking for fluidity of movement. Very nice. And noticing also where our tensions and stiffnesses are. This feels very much more comfortable on this side. Let's do one more. As we bring the head upright, just softening that arm and shoulder down to the side, giving yourself a little wriggle. Now we're going back to swinging the arms. So before we swung the arms individually, which you can absolutely do if you like, but you can also swing the arms forwards and backwards together at the same time. A little bit of a sort of shrug happening across the shoulders and just allowing the arms to shake out a little bit, maybe the fingers as well. Very good. So we're going to come back to just our necks, sitting really tall. We're going to bring the chin towards the chest. Take a moment here just to feel an easing, and then rolling the right ear towards the right shoulder, and chin to chest, and left ear to left shoulder. So the head's going like a semicircle in front of the body from shoulder to shoulder. And as we move, noticing the sensations in the other parts of the body, it's helpful to keep your mouth closed here so that you can feel the sensation moving up the side of the neck into the jaw, maybe across the ear, behind the ear, into the side of the head, side of the face, the upper back, the chest, the shoulder itself, the tongue, perhaps. As we bring our right ear back to the right shoulder, we're going to pause here for a moment. And then without doing any additional lengthening with the arms, so we're just leaving the arms, they can be hanging if you like, but just leaving the arms as they are, a gentle nodding of the head. So a really small lift and lower as we nod our head whilst maintaining this little side bend to the right. And we're going to bring the chin back through center at the chest, all the way over to take the left ear to the left shoulder. Again, allowing the arms to be heavy or resting wherever feels good, but not additionally pushing towards the floor. And then beginning that nodding, the mouth closed. And your nod doesn't have to be very far up or down, as long as it feels like it's doing something somewhere. We're just checking in with those sensations across the side of the body, the neck, the face, the head. And then the next time you bring your chin down, rolling all the way to the center, taking a moment in the center, just softly smiling and raising your head up and freeing the shoulders for a little roll. Very good. Okie dokie. So we're going to stand up because we've been sitting down for most of the class, and I want to do some movement with our bodies upright as well. So, oh, my word, it always feels nice to stand up after sitting for a while. Let's pop our chairs to one side. I do that just because it's helpful in my space, but do feel free to not do that if you can just move away from your chair. So we are going to take our feet nice and wide, soft in the knees, just a little bit bouncy through the legs, through the knees, finding our feet nice and steady. We've been using them in our seated position, but now we're weight bearing more properly on them. So we're just giving them a moment to get used to the idea before we then firm our centers and gently twist from side to side. As we twist, we allow the arms to wrap around the body and tap wherever they fall. And in between, we let the arms swing wide of the body. And if it feels comfortable, you can keep your head still, or you can turn your head with your movement as you choose. We've done a lot with our necks and shoulders, and it's quite deep work. So bear that in mind. Maybe if you have some sensations of effort in the body, try to move in a way that helps you to release them, feels easing, rather than demanding more of the body. If you wish to, you can turn with your head to look over the back shoulder. That's sometimes a nice thing to do. And if you wish to, you can add a little pivot on the toes to this movement. And hopefully it does feel easing. If you'd like to, you can add a soft bounce in the knees. So we bounce in the center and then twist, bend and twist, bend and twist. Touch your opposite shoulder in front of you, or that side of the chest, if that's where your hand reaches naturally. And also tapping on the opposite side of the rib cage, if you can, behind you. The back of the hip will do if the rib cage is not in reach. Trying to find that sensation of releasing the arms away from the body as we twist, and then finding a destination for those hands in the twist. We're going to do a few more to each side. And then we're going to let the bounce go. We'll let the arms come towards the sides of the body as we steady the feet and sway back to center. And then organize ourselves really tall, little roll of the shoulders. And hopefully that's allowed us to release some of the effort from across the shoulders. Now we're going to do a little movement, still movement. We might need our chairs for this. So we want to have the chair in a way that we can hold onto it on one side of the body. So I have my chair on my right side. I'm going to step forward onto my right foot. And I just want a little bit of softness across the knees. I want to make sure that I haven't stepped one foot directly behind the other because it makes it hard to balance. So feet as if they were hip width apart. And a nice bounce in the knees, firm in the belly. We're going to turn our palm, left palm, as if we were going to bowl a ball forwards, like in cricket, or rounders, or indeed anything else. And we are going to, sorry, I'm moving my feet and I shouldn't be. We're just going to swing the left arm forwards and backwards. I was getting carried away there. Apologies. So here again, it's not really about how much we're swinging the arm. It's more a softening. So it's more of a relaxed, easy position. And if we want to focus somewhere, we can focus on the back swing. So the swing of the hand backwards or the arm backwards, and then just let the forward swing be whatever that is as we lose the effort of holding the arm backwards. Nice and easy, nice and relaxed. If you wish to, you can swing backwards and forwards on your feet, and that's why we're holding on to something so we don't get unbalanced. And you don't have to do the swinging on your feet bit if that feels like it's just not quite up to what your body wants to do today. And then if you wish to, you can look to where your arm is going behind you. So that's entirely optional. We need a bit of effort through the belly muscles to help us feel strong in the center as we make these movements, using the chair for support, and also making a less vigorous movement if it unbalances you to make a more vigorous movement. We're going to do a few more of these. And then we're going to let the feet find steadiness and just sway that arm back to the side of the body. And then stepping forward onto both feet, observing the difference between the two sides of the body. So hopefully this side feels eased, feels perhaps maybe slightly longer or a bit more dangly or heavy or whatever it might be. Just observing. I'm going to turn around in my space, having my chair at the other side now. So stepping forward onto the left foot, back onto the right foot, chair on the left side of the body. Keep the knees nice and soft. Turn the right hand as if I'm bowling forwards, underarm, and just begin with swinging the arm. So we begin with really light movement, something nice and loose and relaxed. And then if you wish to, you can focus on the back swing. So thinking about drawing the arm back behind you, again, only as much as you feel is good for you. And then just the arm comes forward as a result of losing the effort to hold it back behind the body. We need a bit of effort across our belly muscles before we move into swinging on the feet. Only if you wish to, using your left hand on the chair for support. At the moment, the head is centered. We're just allowing a little bit of the body to join in. And when we do that, it makes it much less effort for the shoulder. And so we can add looking with the head, if you'd like to where the arm is traveling back behind you. And just noticing how much more natural that feels, if indeed that is how it feels to you. Tell me how it feels at this end. Noticing perhaps a little need for a bit more effort across the belly muscles. And then enjoying the rhythm, the repetitive nature of this, the softness of it. There's no huge effort here. Everything is working together, being supported. We'll do a few more. And then bringing the feet to steadiness, just letting your right arm swing back to center, slowly releasing a little bit at a time, stepping onto both feet and observing now how that feels across the body. Hopefully it feels really good. So we're going to finish the sort of more moving practice today with two things. We're going to do a rounding and opening through the body, and we're also, maybe we'll do three things. Yes, okay. So you can do this sitting down or standing up, but on our feet as we are, we're going to just soften the knees a little bit, open the arms wide as we lift the chest and look slightly up, maybe chin slightly up, and then round through the spine. Draw the backs of the hands towards each other, soften the knees a bit deeper around the back and chin to chest. Breathe in as you open the arms wide, lifting the chest forward, lifting the chin up a little. Exhaling as we round through the spine, drawing the backs of the hands towards each other and the chin towards the chest. Breathing in to open, lengthen the legs, lifting the chest. Breathing out to round. Backs of the hands coming towards each other. Breathing in to open. Breathing out to round. Let's do one more. Breathing in to open. Breathing out to round. And then we're going to finish by breathing in to stand tall and reach the arms wide, and breathing out to float the arms down to the side. When the arms come down, just giving a little bit of wriggle. Nice, a little wiggle schmiggle. And then we are going to step towards our chairs again. This time, I keep reorganizing this chair because it just fails to be in the right place. So we've got our chairs on the left-hand side of the body. I'm going to work with the right arm first, and we're going to do two motions. So feet are nice and wide. We're going to breathe in as we take the right arm around the body in a nice big circle. And then as the hand comes down to the hip, we're going to breathe in again. So we've breathed out as well to reach up and over to the side. Breathing out back to the center. We're going to breathe in, reach the arm forward and up and around. Breathing out as the arm comes down. Feel free to move your head if you'd like to. And then breathe in, up and over, leaning to the left. Breathing out back to center. Breathing in, forward and up and around. Breathing out as the arm comes down. Breathing in, over to the side. Breathing out back to the center. One more time. Breathing in, forward, up and around. Breathing out, back and down. Breathing in, up and over to the side. Breathing out, back to center. Take a moment. Just soften. Stand tall, holding onto the chair if you'd like to. Observe the difference between the two sides of the body, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. We're having lots of mat and chair issues today. Okay, so we're standing tall. We've got the chair on the right-hand side. With the left arm, we're breathing in and up and out and back down. And then when the left arm comes to the side, we're going to breathe in and up as we lean over to the right and come back to center. Breathing in to reach forwards and up and around the body. Breathing out as the arm comes down. Breathing in as we reach over to the right side. And breathing out back to the center. We've got two more like this. Breathing in, reaching forwards, up and around. Breathing out as the arm comes back and down. Breathing in to reach up and over to the right. Breathing out back to the center. Last time. Breathing in to reach forward, up and around. Breathing out back and down. Breathing in to reach up and over to the right. Breathing out back to the center. Very nice. Just pause for a moment, hold on to the chair if you need to, wriggle with both arms if you prefer. Oh, do love that. And finally, before we sit again, we're going to do a chair-based downward facing dog. So if you feel like your shoulders have had it, because we've done a lot, it's okay to rest out of this. But if you enjoy it, hands onto the seat, walking your feet away, we're going to bend the knees and glide the hips back behind the heels as we imagine we're trying to touch our bottoms to the wall behind us. We feel space underneath the arms. We're not sagging here in the shoulders. We're pressing into the hands so that we keep our torsos parallel to the floor or above. That's fine too. A firmness in the belly. We're going to gently sway the hips from one side to the other. So we're keeping the feet on the floor, maybe softening one knee a little bit more and then the other. If you'd like to, you can also turn your head from side to side. You might even get a little turn through the upper body from side to side. Keep pressing into the hands. Keep strength through those arms. So we're not relaxing, we're making effort. When you're ready, you can come back to the center, take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, gently walk your way into your chair. So you come to standing upright. Take a moment, holding on if you feel a little bit dizzy. And then when you're ready, you can step away from the chair again. And we are definitely ready for relaxation now. We have done a lot of movement now. So rearranging your space, perhaps putting on some extra layers or taking a blanket if you would like to. I like to, at this point, have a little sip of water just because my voice works quite hard during class, as you'll notice, because I babble at you all the time. Oh, very good. So preparing for sitting in any way that feels good. I like to get really wrapped up in my blanket because it's always nice to feel that coziness. When we've worked with the head and neck and shoulders, it can be also really nice. I've got a collar today, which I'm going to turn up on my jumper, but you might like to have a scarf on or even something extra draped around the shoulders. So an additional blanket, something to keep the muscles that have worked warm. Now, there's lots of people are used to thinking of icing muscles or using coldness as a therapeutic effect, which it absolutely is in the right circumstances. But we haven't injured ourselves through overuse, so we don't need to ice anything. We need to nurture the warmth and the increased blood flow that we've created to these muscular and soft tissue structures and also connective tissue structures so that they can continue to feel that nurturing. We don't need to take it all away as soon as we finish. So keeping nice and warm, we're going to sit right back into our seats. We're going to rest the hands wherever they feel comfortable. Take a deep breath in and then sigh gently out through the mouth. We're going to do 3 sipping breaths. So for this, we take a deep breath in, then breathe in a little bit more, and make your mouth into an O and breathe slowly out. We'll do that 2 more times. Take a deep breath in, breathe in a little bit more, and then through an O-shaped mouth. This time we'll take a deep breath in, breathe in a little bit more, breathe in a little bit more, and out. We are going to do a final practice of this with our eyes closed and letting everything soften as we exhale. So deep breath in. Breathe in a little bit more. A little bit more. And out. Slowly, steadily releasing the breath, the tension from the forehead, the shoulders, the body. Let your breath find its natural rhythm, falling into quietness. Closing the eyes if they found their way open. Re-establishing that settled back into the chair back position. Take your awareness into your forehead. Feel it soften. Feel the area around your eyes relaxing. Your mouth, tongue, jaw, releasing. Allow your whole body to feel heavy, warm, supported, softening back and down. Take your awareness to your breath. Feel the gentle ebb and flow of the breath. Feel the coolness of air coming in through the nose and the warmth of the breath as you exhale. Focus on that deeper stillness in the body. Notice if there are any times in your breath, any moments in the breath when the breath is also still. A moment of pause between breathing in and out, or out and in. Allow those moments of stillness in the breath to be deepened by even more stillness in the body, and even a stilling in the mind. Without holding your breath, allow these moments of stillness to expand. Allow your awareness to rest deeper still into those moments of stillness for the remainder of relaxation. Gently deepen your breath and bring your awareness back to your hands and your feet by moving fingers, toes, maybe rolling wrists and ankles. When you feel ready, you can take a deep breath in, maybe yawning. Oh, you stretch the face, stretch the arms and the legs. Oh. You might like to gently bend one knee into the chest and hug it towards you, and then the other. And then when you feel ready, you can bring your hands to rest wherever it feels comfortable in the body, maybe taking the chin gently downward. Take this moment to bring to mind something for which you are grateful. So gratitude can be a really hard thing, and if there is nothing that immediately comes to mind, don't stress. Just allow it to percolate at the back of your mind. Something will become apparent later in the day. But if you're able to bring to mind perhaps a person or a situation or a thing, it could be as innocuous as a little bumblebee visiting a favorite flower. It could be just the fact that it's a nice sunny day. And just note that feeling of gratitude deep in your heart. Give yourself a soft smile, and when you're ready, raising your head and opening your eyes. We've done a lot in our practice today, so if you have the opportunity later in your day to recline onto something where you can rest your head back and really switch off the muscles of the back of the neck and the upper back, I would thoroughly recommend it. Until next week, namaste.